Central Texans are feeling lucky today after buying Mega Million lottery tickets with a prize pot at $1.2 billion. That's right, you heard me. Billion. I mean, how can you not want to take a chance at those odds? Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Armando Berry. The city of Temple has decided to forego using a diversity inclusion firm from Chicago to look into its policies and procedures and will now have their own city staff evaluate themselves. This comes after many residents criticized the proposal, but they're now left with many questions.
With current inflation across the country, does it make it harder for Californians to make this move, even if it would save them money in the long run?
Yes, over the past decade, majority of Californians that left for other states then were lower and middle income individuals, which makes it even harder for those families in those groups to make that move in our economy right now. Hey Olivia, I'm inside a restaurant called The Scout at the Riverwalk right here in Flower Mound, where the GOP of Denton is having their watch party for these midterm elections. As you see behind me, folks, they're getting prepared, walking around, mingling and grabbing some food and getting prepared to watch these votes come in on that big screen behind me. Number 3, you need to educate yourself on credit early and then start building it. Number 4, don't get a credit card unless you have a job and you can afford it. Number 5, make sure you stay away from those payday loans. Number 6, there are free educational resources at your bank. Use them. Hey Austin, things are a lot livelier here at the Scout, and a big reason for that are for all the people who came to see this man right here. He is the Republican candidate for House 63, Mr. Ben Bumgarner. Mr. Bumgarner, your district mainly consists of the Flower Mound and Justin area. What are some of the things that you hope to improve on locally? As our coverage here at the GOP Watch Party winds down, those who came are proud of their performance at the polls.
The inclement weather has forced the homecoming bonfire to move from Friday to tonight. As Armando Berry has more at the Apogee Stadium, what do you have for us?
Hey Olivia, I'm outside of Apogee Stadium where a homecoming bonfire will take place in just a couple of hours. But before we see it all burn down tonight, let me show you the story behind how the bonfire was built. It's not every day you see a construction crew of college students.
We stay out here 24/7 pretty much for a week.
Talons is the organization tasked with building the homecoming bonfire.
We start the Friday before at 9 a.m. and we go all the way to the following Friday right before the homecoming game on Saturday. And we're here 24/7. We do build hours during the day and night watch at night.
The job comes with a sacrifice that students like bonfire head J.B. O'Pry are willing to make.
We're out here, we're putting work in all week, and we don't really get to do those things, but at the end of the day, you know, we're building something and we're doing something that is really just like the pinnacle of homecoming week.
It's a week of work that pays off when it all burns down Thursday night.
Probably one of the best things I've ever done here at UNT is getting to light the bonfire and like seeing all those people on the hill who are just ready for it to be lit up. They're chanting and cheering, all that stuff. So it's just a really cool experience. An
experience that they know the next group of Talons are excited to take on.
I mean, we get so passionate about it. It drains us, but we do it because we love it. And a lot of people actually come into Talons for bonfire because they see what we do and they want to help be a part of what we do and just keep the tradition alive.
From Apogee Stadium, Armando Berry, NTTV News. Inflation has caused rises in gas, food, and rent, and now local restaurants are the latest to feel the worst of it.
You used to get oil for like $20. Now a gallon of oil, the oil is right now is like $45. A certain place, $52.
Restaurant owners like Norris Bar of Ross Kitchen say simple necessities like bread, chicken, and oil have nearly doubled in price since June 2021.
So we used to use the plastic containers. Now I got to change to the styrofoam containers because the plastic containers was already high.
Even things like the phone line are harder to maintain due to inflation being the highest it's been in 40 years.
If something were to break today, it's double the price, and so everything went up. Not only just today, right before you came, I had our phone switched to a different type of phone.
Emily Wright, co-owner of Ross Kitchen, says food and building costs are at a higher rate than ever in her past 10 years in the food business.
This is definitely a different animal that's in front of us because during COVID, you just weren't able to operate. You know, people weren't able to go out. this is, you're able to go out, but can you afford to?
Even owner Joey Franks of Old Jody's restaurant, that's been around since the 80s, is making menu changes.
Just some items, it takes you twice as long to get because they're not shipping. I mean, just for instance, here just a few weeks ago, we couldn't get any crackers.
Prices will go up 10 to 15% across the board, but Frank says he's depending on loyal locals to keep the restaurant afloat.
Oh, they're harder to get, harder to come by. Some items they're just making, just deleting and whatever. It's just we got to be patient until everything gets back to normal.
When I asked both owners if they think it will get better, they have the same answer.
Naturally, I'm hoping that it's just a temporary thing.
I hope so. I'm hoping for the best.
In Temple, Armando Berry, 6 News.